It was a cold December night when Sammy, a security guard, began his night shift at a 15-story commercial building downtown. Most nights were quiet and uneventful, but this one was different. Very different. Around 12:45 a.m., Sammy decided to take a short break in the restroom on the 10th floor. He pressed the elevator button and waited. When the doors opened, the elevator was completely empty. He stepped in, pressed the number 10, and stood in the corner. Just as the doors were closing, he heard quick footsteps approaching from the hallway. A tall, pale man entered, thin, with messy gray hair and clothes that looked like they belonged to another era. His skin was almost colorless, and his eyes were distant. He stood next to Sammy and softly said without looking at him, "10th floor? A good place to rest." Sammy nodded, feeling a strange unease. The elevator began its ascent. Suddenly, it stopped at the 5th floor without opening its doors. Silence filled the small space. Then, the man turned to Sammy and asked, "Can you see me?" Sammy hesitated, confused. "Of course I can see you. What do you mean?" The man gave a faint smile. "Finally, someone can see me." That's when things turned terrifying. The elevator started shaking lightly. The lights began flickering. The air turned ice cold in seconds. Sammy reached for the emergency button, no response. Nothing worked. The man began whispering strange words in a loop, like a broken record. "I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead." Suddenly, the lights went out completely. Sammy froze in place. Total darkness surrounded him. A few seconds later, the lights came back on, and the man was gone. When the doors finally opened at the 10th floor, Sammy ran out of the elevator and rushed into the security room. His face was pale, his hands shaking. "What's wrong with you?" his coworker asked. "There was a man in the elevator with me," Sammy said, breathless. "But he vanished." His coworker looked confused. "I just watched the cameras." "You were alone the whole time." Sammy insisted he saw the man. They pulled up the footage together, and sure enough, Sammy entered the elevator, completely alone. The next morning, Sammy told the story to one of the older janitors, who looked at him seriously and said, "You know someone died in that elevator 2 years ago, right? Heart attack." No one noticed him for hours. Sammy's heart dropped. "What did he look like?" he asked. "Gray hair, tall, blue eyes," the janitor replied. Nobody ever forgot his face. From that night on, Sammy avoided elevators after midnight. He still remembers that cold smile, and the words, "Finally, someone can see me."